Do you know if Shohei will pitch in the WBC or does he want to win?
I don't, Alden. I'm hoping he doesn't.
ドジャースのロバーツ監督とゴームズGmがウィンターミーティング後に会見とテレビ出演に応じ、日本人トリオのWBCと来シーズンの起用法について語りました。その模様を日本語字幕でご覧ください。
I think there's no more clarity for us. Obviously, it's something that they both are excited about potentially. Obviously, the country of Japan excited. We have to have that conversation. But I would like to think that it's going to be a dialogue as far as restrictions and limitations, and in the sense of just trying to give them the opportunity, but also understand, they've come off some stuff, some long seasons, and certainly with Yamamoto and looking out for 2026. But yeah, right now there's no more clarity than we had before.
Did you expect Shohei to be used like in a normal rotation at the start of the season, or are there still going to be ways you guys are trying to be a little more creative?
I think the thought is to have Shohei being used as a regular starter, but it's not going to be a regular 5-man rotation. I just think that I don't want to go down the 6-man rotation road, but I do feel that, giving him 6, 7, 8 days off to kind of allow him to continue to stay rested and build up, I think that's something that's in our process. But again, we have a long way to go, but we've got some viable candidates, certainly.
Do you know if Shohei will pitch in the WBC or does he want to win?
I don't, Alden. I'm hoping he doesn't, but I don't know. Shohei's he's very in tune with his body, and but I would say probably the thought is he's probably just going to hit, but I really don't know. I haven't talked to Show. You know what? I haven't, and I know our guys are starting to kind of have the conversation as far as early part of the schedule and off days and things like that, which we still got to get to that point with health. It's a thought. It's going to be in the conversation. We just have some guys that have earned opportunities to make starts, and if we feel at the end of the day, getting Yamamoto, Roki potentially, Emmett, Shohei, some extra days rest, and there's not a cost. Those are the conversations we're going to have. And again, we could have 2 off days in the first week of the season that I haven't really looked at right now. That could kind of influence that too. So I'm not sure how it's going to play out.
How delicate of a dynamic is that, considering how important that event is over there versus obviously what they're coming off of what they did last week?
It's very delicate, and I know I don't want to be dismissive of what it means to them representing their country. I know the organization doesn't, but I do think that the conversations need to be had, will be had, as far as what each individual is taking on in whatever role that they might be taking on, and what potential costs there might be. And I think that at that point in time, then whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But you can't debate the emotion, what a player might feel of this potential opportunity.
Should the 2026 projected rotation have Roki Sasaki in it?
Absolutely.
It should.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, and there was no hesitation on that at all.
No.
So what we saw in October was just a need at that moment in time.
For sure. I think it speaks to Roki as a competitor, and the culture that Doc and our veteran players have built to, like, hey, however I can help right now, all I want to do is win. And at that moment, that was Roki's position to help us win, and he fully embraced it and dominated, and now use that as a springboard to go out and be the dominant starter that we feel like he can be.
The X factor in that game, though, and obviously I think the whole postseason, was Yamamoto. I've never seen anything like it. For him to go 100-plus pitches in Game 6 and then come back in Game 7, what was the conversation with him after Game 6? And did you think he would go, 40 pitches in Game 7?
I didn't, Case, and even on top of that, in Game 3, after he threw Game 2, he was getting loose and was hot to go into that 18-inning game.
That's right.
So then he comes there and pitches Game 6 and domination, and then he just said that he was ready, available for Game 7. And at that point in time, I was like, there's certain guys that I'm going to go with in a Game 7, and he was one of them. And I'll be honest, I was like, man, after 1 inning, 2 innings, and that third inning is like, if he doesn't get out of this one, if we don't win the game after this one, that's going to be it. And I'm going to go to Clayton right there.
Wow.
Well, let's talk about the guy who started the game, Shohei Ohtani. On short rest, he's more than 700 plate appearances into the year, and he's your Game 7 starter, and he started the year rehabbing after an elbow surgery. Let's fast forward now, next year, 2026. Is he a full go? Can Shohei Ohtani be the kind of guy who's going to make every turn and be a full two-way player for the Dodgers?
I think so. And obviously, Shohei has shown that he works really well with extra rest. And in the World Series, it was his shortest rest day start. But I do think that now this is the first year that he's had a chance to prepare for a season as being a regular, healthy player. So I do see with the 7, 8, 9 days of rest in between and various starts that there's no reason he can't make, 25, 27 starts.
Doc, watching him play every day, I'm enamored. We get to see him every once in a while. You get to see him every day. And I'm sure the routine to get ready to do what he does is something that you've never seen, we've never seen. What's he like in the clubhouse personality-wise? And also, what's it like for you to see this guy do what he does every single day?
I think the thing that people can quantify and you can see is the talent. He's physical. He has a big arm. He has a lot of power. But I don't think that people can appreciate that every single minute each day is accounted for. And there's no wasted time. And with that, everything he does is with intent, clear intent. Because now when you're rehabbing a shoulder as he was earlier, you're coming off Tommy John, you're trying to do flat grounds, insert bullpens, all the while getting a game plan for the starting pitcher that night, knowing you're going to take 5 at-bats. So how he can compartmentalize each thing, strike out in a big spot, but then go out there and take the ball to now have to throw down, put up a 0 on the mound. I just really marvel at how he's done that. And it takes a special athlete, certainly. And I hope there's more players that try to take that on. But for me, his mind is so dang strong. And, Case, we go 0 for 4, 3 games in a row, and we're ready. I'm
a mess.
We're ready to jump off a cliff.
I got insomnia.
He's ready to still start and make pitches and punch out 10 against the Brewers and go 6 shutty. Yeah. That's uncharted territory.
That's 12-year-old travel all-star.
I mean, right?
Major leaguer.